All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. I'm dedicating this video to LL Cool J. I grew up as a child being familiar with LL. My sister, my sister's born December 7th, 1971. I'm born July 21st, 1983. And we don't have any other siblings. But she's a lot older than me. She was kind of like a second mom. But when I was growing up, she had all the cassette tapes for LL Cool J. She really liked his music. And yeah, it's just sad to grow up and see, you know, what Bob Dylan really told us about with Ed Bradley on 60 Minutes. And I'm hoping LL Cool J will see this video and share it on his social media and be the first celebrity to take a major stand against what's obviously going on in the industry, which again, Bob Dylan hinted at. And the reason I think there's a small chance that LL Cool J could do that is because CeeLo from Goody Mob shared our video from about a year ago. Jonathan and I had a great discussion about their song, oh my God, from the 90s, Cell Therapy. Cell Therapy in light of what's going on in the time of the pandemic. And CeeLo found that video and he shared it on his Instagram page. And I'm sure by him doing that, he helped awaken a lot of people's minds to this knowledge. And to date, he's probably the biggest celebrity who's helped us out. Shout out to Jeff Young, former guitarist for Megadeth. He's definitely put in a lot of work trying to help get out the word. But again, we need way more celebrities to step up. And if someone like LL Cool J did it, who has, even his own radio station on Sirius XM, I feel like he could really get out the word. But there's something very wrong with what's going on with DMX right now, the timing of it, and what we know about the industry, and the fact that the news came on April 3rd, 21, 4321, and the fact that DMX and LL Cool J are both on that song, and so are other rappers. So if you're wondering why I'm signaling out LL Cool J, I'm going to get to that, but I think he's the biggest star on the song. In his own mind, he's the greatest of all time, as he closes out the song with the GOAT reference, and we've been talking about all the GOAT rituals in this year, the biggest of which with Brady and how many people died in relation to him winning that rigged Super Bowl. Remember, one of them was Leon Spinks, whose name equaled 55 in Gematria, dead the night. His death announced the night before the Super Bowl 55 in the news that he had passed. And remember, Leon Spinks, what he's remembered for was upsetting the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali, the GOAT. And when he beat Muhammad Ali, he kept Muhammad Ali on 55 career wins, right? 55, and his name, Gematria, Leon Spinks, 55. Well, in a minute, we'll talk about how LL Cool J is 79, and this whole thing with DMX being a vegetable, the word they're using, they're saying he's in a vegetative state. This whole thing about him being a vegetable, it comes 79 days after LL Cool J's birthday. And again, we know this isn't an accident, and there's a lot to that number 79, which we'll touch on in a minute here. But again, they're both in the song 4321. LL Cool J, as he knows, has the last verse, and he closes it out by saying he's the greatest of all time, the GOAT reference. And don't forget, today's 4-3, right? 4-3. Remember, before this NFL season began, we said Tom Brady was likely going to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl in the GOAT ritual at age 43. Today's 4-3. The word GOAT. Here's how Gematria works, you guys. It's very simple. G is the seventh letter. A's 1, B's 2, C's 3, D's 4, up to Z, the 26 letters, 26. You just turn the letters into numbers. GOAT. G is 7, O is 15, A is 1, T is 20. 7 plus 15 plus 1 plus 20 is 43, right? GOAT. We're talking about a GOAT ritual on April 3rd, a big one. A major rapper taking out maybe another major rapper. Or again, LL, don't let me put words in the way it actually is, but it's obvious that somehow, like Bob Dylan said, you guys all sold your souls to be where you are, to be the famous ones. Because we know there's a lot of talented people in this world who never make it. Never, ever. And, you got someone like you. I'm not saying you're bad at what you do, but to say you're the greatest of all time, I don't know, man. I just had a dude Chiroglyphs on my live stream from Portland, Oregon. Well, he's not really from Portland, but that's where he lives. But, man, just the rhymes he gave us, I got to tell you, man, honestly, my sister, she had all your tapes. She doesn't have any Chiroglyphs tapes. But what he said was more memorable and, to me, more creative than anything you've said in your life. And I don't mean to be rude, but Chiroglyphs, as we know, isn't in every Hollywood movie. And, he's not He's not what you are, famous with his own Sirius XM station, but you're calling yourself the greatest of all time. And again, I think Bob Dylan shed some real light on what really goes on. And you guys, you're in the right place, the right time, and you get the chance to sell your soul to be it. And I realize you guys have some talent, but man, something's obviously going on. But anyway, GOAT 43, today's 4-3. And remember, if you write out greatest of all time and add that up, it equals 188. And don't forget, Super Bowl 55 was 188 days after Brady's 43rd birthday. And remember how big 43 is down in Florida. Remember, Jeb Bush was the 43rd governor. The election came down to Florida for his brother, who became the 43rd president. His dad was the 43rd vice president. They all went to Yale, Skull and Bones, 322, who worshiped the Baphomet, which is part goat. Yale. Y25, A1, L12, E5, 43. Remember how the night before Super Bowl 55, it was reported there was a murder in Goatville at Yale? And don't forget, American football is credited to Walter Camp, who went to Yale and was a member of Skull and Bones. So again, all this stuff connected. All this 43. Today, 4-3. LL Cool J's 4-3-2-1 ends with him saying he's the greatest of all time. Now on 4-3-21, like the song, DMX in a vegetative state. How they're all reporting it. I heard it on the news. DMX in a vegetative state. They're making sure we know that he's like a vegetable. Now look at this. Look at this. Not to mention that year came out in 97, right? Notorious equals 97. Of course, that's the year he died on March 9th. Biggie 39, Dead on 39. That big New York number. But look at this. LL Cool J's birth name is James Todd Smith. Born in that infamous year 68, right? That's another topic. But if you guys haven't read my book, chapter 2 is about what's up with 1968. Everybody really should know about that. I'm not saying LL Cool J is the main thing, but 1968 was a year. But anyway, major assassinations. 911 made the national emergency dialing code. World Trade Center construction began. 2001, Ace Odyssey came out. The Jets, their only Super Bowl winning season. A whole bunch more. 1968. But anyway, from his January 14th birthday to April 3rd, 79 days later, right? And LL Cool J, just that alphabetic order, 79. Vegetable, 79, right? Tampa Bay, that's where Brady just went down to at age 43 for the GOAT ritual. Today's 4-3, right? I see I didn't put my graphic in here. My graphic's supposed to be in here with the 43 for the GOAT. But look, Gematria, the most simple cipher, just the alphabetic order. GOAT, 43, right? And again, Brady's birthday is August 3rd. From his birthday, August 3rd, 2020, to the Super Bowl, February 7th, 2021, 188 days later. I mean, I put out this information for free days before the Super Bowl. We do almost all of our sports decodes on Patreon these days. We used to do it free back in the day. But I put it out for free. I helped out a lot of people. I said, come on, man. 188 days after the Super Bowl, greatest of all time. 2021, 21, the Saturn number. Saturn's got 7 rings. Now so does Brady. Stuff's all ritual. And keep in mind, Saturn is associated with Satan to the occult. Satan is symbolized with the Baphomet, which is part goat. And if you guys are new here, there are 4 base ciphers, but you really got to know all 4. You see how Satan's 55 and 10? Brady was in his 10th Super Bowl in Super Bowl 55. He went into the game with 80 career postseason touchdowns, passes, and 80 career losses. He stayed on 80, and we predicted before the game that he'd have at least 3 touchdowns and 0 picks for the game. We thought there was a chance he might throw 5 touchdowns, because then he would have had 666 for his career. But we said he'd have at least 3, because then he'd have 83, and football's 83, and his birthday's 83, and he'd stay on 83 touchdowns in the postseason. And he was going to stay on 38 career postseason interceptions on the 38th day of the year. He did all that. But the point is, again, Super Bowl 55, Brady's 10th. He stayed on 80 career losses, came into the game with 80 postseason touchdowns. And then the 35 is important because Carl Sheffers, who reffed the game, his first ever game as a ref was when Brady beat the Chiefs 17-10 exactly 149 weeks earlier. Or no, 149 months. 149 months. Carl Sheffers' first game. From that game to the Super Bowl, Brady got his 149th career home win in that game. And 149 is the 35th prime number. and realize that QB has that 35 connection, and so does the name Tom Brady. If you've followed me since the early years of this, I probably started calling 35 the Tom Brady number in 2014. I've been saying this over and over and over. There's so many things about Tom Brady and 35, but just notice how all those numbers connect to Satan. And again, and don't forget The Weeknd, who was the halftime performer, who came down like a fallen angel. I just realize now, just being out on the streets, how people just really care about nothing. That's why the controllers of the league just know they can just like have the halftime performer come down like a fallen angel. But the thing is, The Weeknd literally flashes Satan very quickly, like on the mega screens of the arenas that he performs in. He flashes the word Satan at his performances, and they coded the entire thing into Super Bowl 55. And again, just things like Leon Spinks, he held Muhammad Ali to 55 career wins, the GOAT, way back in the day. And then the night before Super Bowl 55, we're reading about how he's dead. And then remember, Butch Reed, also from Missouri, like Leon Spinks, he died the same day. And he also played for the Chiefs for a stint. I mean, this stuff is so sick, you guys. But again, LL Cool J, if you're out there, or any other entertainer that could step up and do the same thing, you must know that these people who die in your industry in these suspicious ways, you must know that this is wrong and evil. And I got to imagine, like, even if you were a sociopath, even if you were... I've worked with young children who were diagnosed as sociopaths, and of course, this is coming from clinical professionals. I used to work in group homes, so certain children, they'd say, this one's a real sociopath, you got to be really careful, this one will... But anyway... It even seemed like they could just do the nastiest things. They seem like the sweetest kid one day, but then they just do the most sinister thing. Anyway, it seems like even them, just from working around them, that even though they could just be so dark and just like evil and do like things that you would never expect children would do, it still seemed that there was a part of them that knew right and wrong, even if it was smaller than most people. I just feel like one of these celebrities can't be this sociopathic that they all just remain so silent about what goes on. And I mean, how's it feel to be LL Cool J? Is it worth it to have your Rock the Bells radio station? Isn't that channel 43? Isn't Rock the Bell? Hold on. Is Rock the Bells channel 43? Hold on, man. Sirius XM Rock the Bells station. I think it is station 43. It is. It is channel 43, you guys. And today is April 3rd. GOAT. He ends the song. Here, I'll get the lyrics up here for how he ends it. And you know what? The song... Hold on. In light of all these GOAT rituals with sports this year, he has all sorts of sports references. I think he references GOATs here. So this is LL... This isn't his whole verse, but this is part of his verse to close out the song 4, 3, 2, 1. And again, DMX is on this song. LL Cool J closes it out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Today in the headlines, DMX in a vegetative state, 79 days after LL's birthday. Brady had the ritual in Tampa Bay with the GOAT. All this stuff connected, right? That's what I'm... If you're new here, you guys, if this all seems like it's too much for you, I can understand that. But understand, what I've been showing for 7 years is that this entire world of entertainment and celebrity is controlled by the cabal. People call it the Illuminati, which was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. I'm going to bring it back to how it's the Jesuits, the Society of Jesus, who are doing all of this. Again, science said that today, April 3rd, is the date of Jesus' crucifixion in 2012. And again, to understand that, April 3rd is the 93rd day of the year. Crucifix is 93. God's Son is 93. Nazareth is 93. And think about the Catholic Church and the language and the calendar. They're responsible for all of it. The calendar's based on the sun, which they say is 93 million miles away on average. The Catholic Church is a solar cult, sun cult, God's Son, the different meanings of sun. But again, the original two ciphers that I learned from Manly P. Hall's The Secret Teachings of All Ages was the alphabetic order and the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology. Again, Jesus Christ crucified today. Again, 4-3, Jesus Christ, 43, 93rd day of the year, ritual, a calendar, and a language all synced up. The Society of Jesus controlling the world of hip-hop music and killing their rappers and their entertainers by a code, which got really obvious with Tupac and the Machiavelli cover. Remember, in the most simple cipher, Jesus 74, Cross 74, Messiah 74, Gospel 74, Parables 74. Again, the Gospel's the story of Jesus. Jesus spoke in parables. Tupac's last album is him on the cross. And His rap alias for that album is Machiavelli, a play on Machiavelli and Machiavelli's 74. And remember, when Tupac's mom died, the news broke May 3rd, which is the real Machiavelli's birthday, somebody who faked his death in history. Think about all this stuff. But again, all this ritual. And by the way, after doing this for 3 years with just these two ciphers, the alphabetic order and the alphabetic order with the rules of numerology, then we realized that the reverse mattered, because just notice things like this. Notice what happens when I write out Tupac. You see the 74 and you run the alphabetic order in reverse and the 61? Look at Jesus. 6174. Look at Cross. Again, we talk about how they do all these Jesus rituals with Kanye West. We just talked about the other day. See my recent video on Kanye. He put out his, was it Yeezus 61 or was it Yandi? I can't remember which one it was, but he put it out on June 1st, 6-1. Kanye made it big with Jesus Walks. Okay. So again, it's 79 days after LL's birthday. LL Cool J is 79. DMX is a vegetable. And again, it's 4-3. It's Goat Day. They're on the same song, 4-3-2-1 on 4/321, closed out by LL, who says he's the GOAT, and we've been covering all the GOAT rituals this year. But coming back to his thing, he says, every little boy want to pick up the mic and to try to run with the big boys and live up to the real hype. But then he says, but that's like picking up a ball playing with Mike, Jordan, who was referred to as the GOAT. Swinging at Ken Griffey. People say Ken Griffey's the GOAT. Father-son duo up here in the Pacific Northwest. By the way, Mariners is 43. I gotta think about this more, man. For some reason, 43's put on all the Seattle sports teams up here. Even the new one, the Kraken's got it. Challenging Roy Jones Jr., at the time, man, there people were calling him the GOAT. He was kind of like Floyd Mayweather in a way, just like hard to beat. Well, Floyd Mayweather undefeated. So anyway, he mentioned in the Dream Team, he's talking about sports, but then he closes it out with the last words, greatest of all time. And I think on this song, he's talking about Cannabis too, who's also on it, so maybe he better watch out. But another, and shout out to the people who left this comment. It wasn't me who caught this. This might have come across my mind. I was very much aware of this song. I remember when this song was out. This is a big song that year in 97. It's a popular song. But a lot of people left a comment today like the Jubilees Project. So shout out to you for tipping me off to the 4321 connection. And sure enough, the thought was dead on. Somebody else also left this great comment. He said, watch the end of Belly. Belly's the hip-hop movie from the 90s. DMX, Nas, a lot of rappers are in it. A lot of rappers from the 90s are in that movie. But notice, Belly got the 56 and 79 like Society of Jesus. And for people who are new here, these numbers are so huge with the Jesuits. To understand it, just read my book. If you don't have any money, just read the first 50 pages of my ebook that I made free. If you go to Subscribestar, Zachary K. Hubbard, it's a free download. You don't need to donate anything. You can just download it right there off the page. If you go to my Patreon page, linked on gematriaeffect.news, just scroll back to Christmas Eve. You can download it there. I made the book free in multiple places because I want people to read this and understand what's really going on and who's responsible. Because, man, I do this because I'm sick of how the world is. I didn't get into this for money and to help people win a ton of money at sports and the market and all this stuff, which we've done. I mean, that wasn't my goal. My goal when I got into this is I saw how sick the world was. All this wrong stuff going on. So obvious. Rituals, mockery, murder, lies. Blown up buildings in New York, lying about it, sending young people off to war. Today, or no, actually it was yesterday. Yesterday I was out on the corner and we had this little boy. I mean, he's probably 6, 7 years old in the backseat, smiling so big. He was so happy getting the attention and the compliments. And I thought, man, he doesn't even realize the sky. Like, it wouldn't have been this way, had he lived 30 years ago. The sky forecast for the day was chemical gray with little breaks of blue now being covered up by a new line. And it's just like, man, what kind of world are we letting people grow up in? And what kind of world are we in? And why aren't we doing something about it? Again, for people to look at this stuff over and over and just think it's all a coincidence, I can understand if you're new here. But you have to understand, I've been showing the same damn patterns for over 7 years straight. And who's up to this, who's responsible, why they do this. Again, the reason they do this for people who are new here, I'm sure LL knows. But again, it's Kabbalah. Kabbalah's Book of Formation, the first page said God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. These people are playing God by this code every single day. And again, there's a lot more to say on that topic, but it's just so obvious. This stuff is so manipulated, you know? Unless, here's the other thing. Some people say, and this is possible, some people who follow me think this is the theory. They think essentially the Jesuits are the closest thing to Satan, and Satan really is here on earth, and essentially Satan is like fulfilling his work. Like Satan somehow is like making it happen that this song 4321 exists, right? Because these people sold their soul for the fame, right? So now they're performing on this song, and what they don't realize is that they just wrote their expiration date. This is a countdown to the end of your life. From the time you finish putting out your verse for this song, and you'll collect the money and have all the fun, but understand, every second, you know, you're 1 second closer to your premature demise. I mean, that's what people need to understand. Some people say, well, you're going to die no matter what. And I bet you there's plenty of people in this world, if you said, listen, you're 20 years old right now, you sign on this line, we own your ass, and you're going to find out what that really means, but we're going to make you so filthy rich, so famous, you're going to get laid by so many women. I'm sure a lot of guys are just like, okay, sounds good enough for me, but they don't realize. They don't realize the soul collector comes on the date they wrote for you. And it seems for a lot of these entertainers, they write it real fast. Here, you just signed on the line. Guess what? We already got your expiration date, you know, for not long ahead. It's just like last year. Last year, Jonathan called in again about King Von's album. I believe it was March 6th. I think it was March 6th, 2020, if I remember right, the 66th day of leap year. And it might have been the day after March 7th. It was right around there. But he let me know about the new King Von album, and we looked at that, and we said, man, look at the numbers on this, dude. This is so obvious. It's for LeBron. He's going to end up being another sacrifice for LeBron. This is more confirmation the Lakers are winning the finals this year. What happens? Lakers win the finals just like they did. We said, for people who don't know, we said the Lakers would win the finals the day LeBron signed with the Lakers. July 1st, 1/7 like 17, because NBA 17 came over from the 17th state. Again, that was his 16th season. The first year at the Lakers, we said in his 17th season, he'll win the 17th championship for the Lakers, which is exactly what he did. Coming over on 1/7 from the 17th state, the Cavaliers, which equals 153, which is the 17th triangular number, which means if you add 1 through 17, it's 153. And remember, he got a $153 million deal, how it was first reported, too. And don't forget, 2 players for UCLA dropped dead. 2 players for UCLA dropped dead. Former players right after LeBron signed with the Lakers, University of California, Los Angeles. And, of course, they did well this year, making it to the Final Four. And congrats to all the people, by the way. But before the tournament began, we had Gonzaga in the championship, which wasn't anything special. But we had that from the start, before the season began, because they put out an article about Mark Few on November 9th, and it was all numbers. But anyway, I thought before the tournament began, they'd face Illinois. Man, it made so much sense. But what I didn't realize is the Butler coach, he went to college in Indianapolis. Or I just said Butler. The Baylor coach went to college at Butler, which is in Indianapolis, which is where the championship is, part of the ritual. And then, of course, Elgin Baylor died during the tournament. But in the Elite Eight, when it went into the Elite Eight, we said for sure at that point it's got to be Baylor Gonzaga. I mean, it looked really strong for a lot of reasons. And prior to that, I was like, man, it's got to be either Gonzaga. After Illinois got eliminated, which was early, which shocked me, I said, man, it's either got to be this Loyola Chicago team or maybe Baylor, because Elgin Baylor just died too. But anyway, the point is, all this stuff is so sick, you guys. And how did you like Gonzaga winning today with that a miracle shot for the 93rd points on the 93rd day of the year? Isn't it something else? Again, the Jesuit program, the Jesuit logo's the sun, what we were just saying. But yeah, man, it's just, you know, LL, if you're out there, if you're as real as someone, you know, like CeeLo, a.k.a. part of Gnarls Barkley from Goody Mob, I mean, somebody needs to step up to the plate. Who's the real GOAT? Yeah, that's the real thing. Are you really the GOAT, LL? If you're out there and watching this, you know what would make you the GOAT, truly? If you became the entertainer that took the torch and said enough with the ritual sacrifice and selling of souls. And aren't you embarrassed, man? Because I got to say, I feel like the hip-hop stars of the 90s, 80s, 70s, all the people that led up to it, I mean, they made it a very interesting form of music, you know. very creative, very lyrical, very intelligent, expand your vocabulary. But look at it now. I mean, everything is just so trash now. It's not just hip-hop music. Everything is so trash. But again, this is what it's all amounted to, this whole thing of selling souls and not having the most entertaining, not entertaining, but the most talented person up there, Where's the hieroglyphs of the world? Where's the people with the positive messages and the real creativity? The original thoughts. But yeah, it's just so obvious, you guys, on 4-3, man, on 4-3. And just to go over the DMX part in case you missed the video earlier, again, notice how his name Simmons in slavery is the exact same in all four ciphers. And they're saying that at 11 p.m., the witching hour, if you've ever seen Rosemary's Baby about selling your soul. But by the way, in Rosemary's Baby, there's a woman who if you've never seen Rosemary's Baby, you might want to plug your ears or go away for 30 seconds. Okay, now I'm going to tell you what you might not want to hear, but in Rosemary's Baby, at the beginning of the movie, you think that a woman commits suicide, but what you find out later is she was sacrificed by this satanic cult that essentially, does this type of stuff to gain fame and wealth and fortune. I won't ruin the whole movie, but where the woman commits suicide, the camera goes down the street and you see a Beetle, a Volkswagen Beetle. Where she dies in the movie is the same place John Lennon was supposedly shot years later. The Beetle. John Lennon, the Beetle. Again, musicians, deaths, rituals. It foretold in entertainment and other ways before it happens, like this song 4321. But look at this. They're saying that at 11 p.m. April 2nd, 4-2, right? Earl Simmons, DMX, has an overdose. 4-2, right? And I'm always talking about 42. Just the other day, we had Shaba of Panther 21, the Black Panthers who were falsely indicted on 4-2. Because again, remember words like slavery, the N-word, Tuskegee, Cosby Show, Huxtable, 42, Martin 42, Malcolm X 42, Muhammad Ali 42, LeBron James 42, Martin lives in apartment 42 in the sitcom. But on 4-2, this black man, DMX, this happens to, Jackie 42, number 42, look into Moses Walker 42, played in exactly 42 Major League games. And again, you guys realize that's the beauty of the base systems. Moses Walker is 42 in what's considered the most pure cipher. He was the first black baseball player in white Major League way before Jackie Robinson. And he played in 42 games, and then they got him out. And then years later, Jackie, number 42, the first black baseball player to play in the white modern major league era. But notice, the alphabetic order with the rules numerology, the reverse alphabetic order. But all these ciphers important. Jackie got that 39, like MLK and Malcolm X both killed at age 39. And, I was talking about the 93 thing. Martin Luther King Jr. is 93. Malcolm X is 93. They only met one time in history, May 26, 64, the 93rd day of the year. A date written 26/3, March 26th. They only met one time, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Jr. Again, March 26, 64, 3 plus 26 plus 64, a date with 93 numerology. They both die at 39. Now we're talking about DMX, the news on the 93rd day of the year. This number related to, the distance in the sun in the sky, and the Son of God, Jesus, in terms of how we know the names and the phrasing and his birthplace and the crucifix story. And keep in mind, the cross to the pagans represented, the sun and the seasons. But anyway, I've been talking about this forever. In my new book, I talk about why George Floyd was killed on the 93rd Meridian West in Minneapolis in light of how they do black men like this by the number 93. And again, the only physical description of Jesus that's left in the Protestant Bible, Revelation 1:14. Well, it's not. There's other little vague comments, but the most clear description is when he returns in Revelation and he has hair like wool and dark skin. I mean, who does that describe? But Minneapolis, Minnesota got that 93. And black men who claim to be the real Jews, they call themselves Hebrew Israelites, right? Hebrew Israelite is 93. And I'm telling you, this number's been coded over black history so much. My first book right here, this monster of a book, the chapter 18 about, the rituals that they do on black men. I talk about 42, 59, 93, right? Look at this with DMX. He had his overdose on Good Friday. Right? Good Friday, the day the Friday before Easter Sunday to remember the resurrection of Jesus. Good Friday got that 59, like Slave Negro Rasta Jigaboo Blues. The 42 words, again, are like the list we just set off. Slavery, Tuskegee, N-word, February, bus. Think about that. Boy, the derogatory term boy. Missouri got that 42. They've done some major 42 rituals with Patrick Mahomes in back-to-back years in the Super Bowl. And it's just they do the same stuff, you guys. I mean, I wrote about it here in this book. I wrote about it in my first book. And they just do it so much. They do it so much. Where's the celebrity? Like CeeLo, if you're out there. If LL Cool J is not going to do it, CeeLo, can you do it again for us? Can you do it in a bigger way? We need somebody to step up. What would make you the GOAT is if you sacrificed your own life and your own friends' and families' lives to stop the sick cycle. And the way to do it would be to come out and say, like, yo, people, you got to stop buying our records, our music, because we all sold our soul. We all wanted to get ahead, but we didn't realize it was just going to be this nonstop, just murder spree. Because that's what it is, man. That's what it is. I mean, anybody who watches me, I'm just like covering death, murder, killing. And I'm glad I went out on the corner, because now that I see like little kids driving by and waving and stuff, it just reminds me what I was doing this for in the first place. I used to be a teacher in a elementary school. Thinking about, God, what kind of future are these children going to have? Well, I'm just going to be in here making their life the best I can for this moment in case who knows how much longer we have. But it's just like, God, man, somebody got to step up and do something. And it should be LL Cool J, since he says he's the GOAT. Somebody got to show that they got some real courage, that they're really about something. And by the way, today, with regards to today being the believed day of Jesus' crucifixion, the 93rd day of the year, again, God's Son crucifix, Nazareth 93, the Sun 93 million miles away, Catholic Church behind all of it, how we understand science, language. Again, you start to pay attention, the Catholic Church built this world around us. That's why that Da Vinci Code, man, they're trying to tell us something. But Jesus Christ, 43, when you run it in reverse, Jesus is 34. Today can be written 4-3 or 3-4. Remember, the day started on the 34th parallel north in Wilmington, North Carolina, with the 3 dead, 4 injured in a shooting on the 3-4 date. I mean, come on, man. But also, you guys, just the sick stuff. From DMX's birthday to today, the day of him being in a vegetative state, 106 days after his birthday, Black 106. And again, that's why you got to know the ciphers right here. Black Lives Matter 106. I Can't Breathe 106. Don't forget what I told you last year about September 11th, 2020. I said circle September 11th in Portland, Oregon. I said you're going to see something really bad about Portland on September 11th, 2020. Ended up being the international headline that on September 11th, 2020, Portland, Oregon had the worst air quality in the entire world because of all the fires burning around the city that day. And the reason we knew that is because that was going to be the 106th day of the Black Lives Matter I Can't Breathe protest. And what did they do? They made the air quality the worst in the world because they got technology and ways to start fires and just fuck with us because they want us to think that the whole world's coming down. It's revelation. Fire's about to rain from the sky. Again, these people are playing us. They're taking the good book and making you think that we're in that crucial moment right before Jesus' return because they're manipulating this shit. And maybe he is about to return. I'm not going to say I'm wrong about that. I don't know. I only know as much as anybody else. I'm just honest. I was raised Lutheran. I was baptized. I think everybody should live by the golden rule, but I'm not going to say that the religion I was raised with is the only one and true one like so many Christians do. To me, that's arrogance and ego. I'm just saying right now people got to unify, stand up, and do something about what's right. So a bunch of children don't have to live with masks on all the time under chemical skies, being made to live in fear. I mean, this stuff is sick, man. Not to mention all the ritual murder and everything else. But these are all facts that I'm talking about. There's so many things that are just so fucked up, man. And like I said, DMX's first album, It's Dark and Hell is Hot. It's coming up on the 23-year anniversary. That's going to be May 12th, 2021. It's Dark and Hell is Hot is 83, which is the 23rd prime, and the word end is 23. So, I mean, I hope DMX makes it back, but between Busta Rhymes, Extinction Level Event 2, and this, if you missed what we covered, Jonathan and I, on the Busta Rhymes, and I got to link back up with Jonathan. I know he's working hard right now, but That's why we got to get more funds into this community, man. If just everybody could pledge $1, man, $1. All of you who've never pledged $1 because you think your dollar doesn't make a difference is why it hasn't happened. Again, for over a year, I've been saying we need 30,000 people to pledge $1 a month so we can hire a team of 5 people, have a full-time news network, travel, pound payment, have a way to get around the expenses, the funds to do it. This knowledge has to get out so bad, you guys. I mean, come on, man. LL Cool J. Maybe you can fund our campaign. That'd make you the greatest of all time. I can't get 30,000 people to do $1 a month. I think 30,000 a month would be pocket change for you. That's all we need over here to get the word out much bigger. Show you how to do it big on a small budget. It's actually what we've been doing the whole time. We've been doing it big on no budget. It's just the world ain't ready to listen, man. Now they got them all muzzled. People should read what's inside that muzzle too. But yeah, also you guys, sweet lady's going to be mad at me because I told her, man. I told her I was going to be done in 5 minutes, and then I caught this news tip, and I said, I got to cover this right here. I said, people need to know about this, and it needs to go out there right now. And LL Cool J, I hope when I wake up in the morning, you're sharing about this on Rock the Bells Radio, channel 43, after the 4-3 DMX vegetative state, man. Again, you guys, they're both on. One more time in case you got here late. LL Cool J and DMX are both on the track called 4321. Today's 4/3/21. 4321. LL Cool J has the last verse on the song, and he says he's the greatest of all time for GOAT. And we've been talking about all these GOAT rituals this year. From, obviously Tom Brady. We talked about what they did with Tiger Woods in the GOAT ritual. LeBron James. My mind is slipping right now. I've been going hard all day, but there was way more GOAT rituals. I'll think about it more when I sleep. There's been a lot of GOAT stuff we talked about this year. It's been everywhere. And don't forget about the Goatville murders at Yale the night before Brady won at age 43. Because again, American football, credited to Walter Camp, who went to Yale. And by the way, when you run the alphabetic order in reverse with the rules numerology, football is also 43. Like Brady's birthday is 8-3. But yeah, just another GOAT thing, man. Another GOAT thing and another sick one. And another one connected to a death. So. Well, I shouldn't say a death. He's not dead yet, but I mean, vegetative state is not pretty. It's not pretty at all. Yeah, and for all you young people that want to be entertainers, realize, you see how many of these entertainers, they start having all these funny deaths around them when they make it. You've seen it big time recently, Megan the Stallion. Why is that even her name? A stallion's a male horse. To tell you something about the times. But her mom dies. Her mom was a rapper, Hollywood. We talked about the whole ritual with that. It was huge. Next thing you know, Megan the Stallion's everywhere. Da Baby. His dad dies. All of a sudden, he's the hottest rapper. You know what I mean? Pooh Shiesty the other day. His brother's dead. All of a sudden, he's on Sirius XM. Probably playing him on LL Cool J, Rock the Bells. And these are just a few scattered examples. There's a lot of this that's been going on. These entertainers, man. Losing friends, family, children, just... Remember last year, NASCAR returned on May 21st, 5/21, the 98th day of the year. The number 98 car won at the track that equaled 98, and his name equaled 98. And just days before the race, it was reported his child died. I don't know if that's a future GOAT. I don't think he's that big of a name in a sport, but I'm just reminding you, it's just like this world of entertainment, man, is so obvious what they're doing. Everything's a number ritual. And don't forget, there's a song out there called Gematria, the Killing Name, right? Gematria, the Killing Name. Gematria is the practice of coding numbers into words. There's also a song out there called Murder by Numbers by The Police, where killing's the sport of the elite. It's as simple as ABC 1, 2, 3. And if you look up Murder by Numbers, it came out in 1983. And again, if you look up the movie poster for Murder by Numbers, again, look at the movie poster for Murder by Numbers. This isn't some doctored graphic I'm showing you. This is what it looks like. They got an orange 7 and 9 around the words. So murder is 79. in the most simple cipher. When you run it in reverse, it's 83. When you run it in reverse with the numerology, it's 38. Murder got the 3 and the 8, right? 8-3. And murder also has the 34. And we're talking about April 3rd, right? A date that can be written 3-4. And we might very well read as soon as tomorrow, Easter, that DMX is passed. And again, this is just what's going on in this industry. Over and over. The whole world of entertainment. Same stuff. Here's another example. There's another... Agatha Christie has a novel called The ABC Murders. Amazon made a show out of it. Let me get it up here. I'll show you this. I've done so many posts over the years about 79 and... Anyway. But the Agatha Christie ABC Murders. Look at this. The ABC Murders 79, right? The story starts in Andover. The ABC Murder starts in Andover, which it has the same gematria as murder in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. You think that's an accident in the show? Again, they put this stuff in our face, you guys. Look up Gematria, the killing name. Notice all these words are 38. Hold on. All these words are 38. The band that did Gematria, the killing name, Slipknot, the first member of that band died at age 38. Murder's 38. Killings 38, deaths 38, RIP's 38, Gematria, English, Kabbalah, they're all 38. Again, all this comes from Kabbalah. Kabbalah says God created the world with numbers, letters, and words. And I noticed who else had a 38 in their name was LL Cool J. A lot of rappers do. And realize, LL, if you're out there, if you don't already know, maybe you already know what your expiration date is. Again, there's going to be a headline about like you. Or there's going to be a headline about you like this someday. Same thing, man. You got bad numbers in your name. I'm just being honest. You don't want these numbers. Murder, 79 and 38 in the exact same ciphers. You see the 25-38? Look at death. We talk about rappers and these same numbers in death all the time. You know, it'd be like dead at 25 on a 38 date numerology. 97 days from his birthday. I mean, that's how you see it. Here, I'll go back and remind people about how mathematical King Von's death was before I wrap this up, actually. You know, we said months before, King Von, we're going to be reading about his death soon, and his death was, or not his death, but his album was more confirmation that the Lakers would win the championship, which they did. Okay, that's how messed up all this stuff is. They connect all this stuff. Okay, look at this. So King Von died November 6th in 2020, which was a leap year, which was the 311th day of the year, which is the 64th prime. 311, the 64th prime. His birth name was Devon Bennett, and this is what we were talking about with him. He put out this album where you can see 64 minutes up on the clock and the 64 on his back in the jersey. And the finals were supposed to be June 4th before they got moved for coronavirus. But remember, that number's connected to killing, and he claimed that 64th Street. But look at this. His birthday is 8-9. And for those of you guys who follow me, you know, King James equals 89. There's 89 chapters in the gospel. Religion's 89. Special number. But when LeBron beat the Warriors, when he came back from 3-1 and he beat the Warriors on the real King James's birthday, June 19th, 2016, the Warriors went down with 89 points. King James is 89 in the most simple cipher. So they're doing King Von with the LeVon James King James tribute album. Now look at this. From his birthday to his death, 89 days, right? From 8-9 to his death, 89 days. King James, 89 and 55. And notice, LeVon James, the name of the album he put out, equaled 116 like he died November 6th. And and all these other ciphers are the exact same as King James. Again, the LeVon James album in tribute to King James by the rapper King Levon. Is that right? Again, so yeah, King Von with the LeVon James album. But look at this. And don't forget when Pop Smoke died on the 50th day of the year, and we said, man, his name's Jackson, and you know, the Jackson from the Locks is putting out the album in tribute to Ignatius of the Jesuits, and then you know, Curtis Jackson, 50 Cent. We said this is all connected, man. And then next thing you know, 50 Cent's producing Pop Smoke's album, and they got a song on the radio with both of them on it. But hold on, here's the thing. From the day that he put out the album, this album right here with the 64, right? Because again, he died on the 311th day of the year, the 64th prime. From the day he put out that album, March 6th, to the day that he died, November 6th, exactly 35 weeks later. You see that? 35 weeks, and then dead on 11/6. And look at it. And the two ciphers that we originally covered years ago, like we would have saw that in 2013 when we first started. That's all we would have seen was the 116 and 35. We would have been like, man, he died on November 6th, 35 weeks after putting out that album. And again, King James equals 35, you guys, and the real King James, who has the Bible named after him, because all this stuff is biblical, he became a Freemason at age 35. Look it up. That's a fact. King James became a Freemason at age 35. The Jesuits created modern Freemasonry in the city of London in 1717, 59 years before this nation was created, and 59 is the 17th prime, and Freemasonry is 59. But again, just LeVon James, King James, perfect overlap. This is why on March 6th or March 7th, whenever we covered this album, we said, man, this is more confirmation for the Lakers to win the finals, and this young man's going to be dead before long. I mean, right and right. The Lakers won the finals October 11th. He was dead. If you think about it, I guess he was dead. October 11th to November 6th. There's 31 days in October because Halloween's October 31st. That means he died 26 days after. Think about that too, you guys. In the year that Kobe died, because Bryant's 26, and like we talked about, game is 26, and God is 26, and the word athlete's 26. But 26 days after the Lakers won the finals, this dude's dead. And again, don't forget Bryant. You see how it's 26 and 37? Remember, Kobe died on the 37-year anniversary of Bear Bryant, the Alabama coach. And then, of course, this year, Nick Saban passed him getting his 7th. They were tied at 6. You might recall when he tied Bear Bryant, he had 26 points scored in that game. And the winning touchdown was by number 6 for his 6th championship. When you write out 6th is 26. Remember the name Adam's 26. God is 26. God makes man in his image. Actually, in the Bible, it says God makes man in the image of the gods, plural, which is interesting. Old Testament. But in the 26th verse, on the 6th day, 266. And remember, the Jesuit motto is Jesus Hominum Salvator, which is 266. And Pope Francis is the first Jesuit pope in the 266th, and that's why he spoke next to Obama on the 266th day of the year, September 23rd, 2015. Again, the Jesuits run this whole thing. They gave us the language and the calendar. That's how all this stuff fits. They control hip-hop. That's why they sacrifice all these rappers like this. But, here's the other piece. From LeBron's birthday, or from his death to LeBron's birthday at the time was 55 days. And again, coming back up, LeVon James, King James, 55. So dead on 116, 35 weeks after the album, 55 days before LeBron's birthday. And you guys want to think this is a coincidence? Tell you what, man, you'd never make it through probability. Well, I shouldn't say that, but that's what you need to do. You need to take a probability class. That's actually the right way to say it. You need to go take a probability class. You need to learn probability and then come back and tell me this is a coincidence. And by the way, if you're some young college student and you're not sure, take this to your teacher and have them debunk it. Then tell them to investigate my work and the track record of predictions, and then tell them the statistical probability of debunking that. Tell you what, it's way beyond improbable. Yeah. And by the way, this whole King Von death, if you watch it, it looks staged. You had a group of guys wearing black t-shirts, white t-shirts, so Masonic. It's just like, what's really going on here anyway, man? What's really going on here? Yeah, there's a lot more I could say about this, but we've already covered enough numbers tonight. I know how people's heads explode. And, again, if DMX does die, R.I.P. to him. Let's hope he's like a cat with plus 10 more lives, because it seems like DMX might have already used 9 of them based on the stories we get. But, man, I mean, it's just, again, you guys, if this man really is dead, some of you think they're all faking their deaths. I don't know. Hey, LL, if they're all faking their deaths, why don't you come out and clear your name and say, listen, man, I am the GOAT, and just so you know, we're all faking our deaths. We're all retiring in the islands, man. Maybe I'll retire, too, if that's what's really going on. Because nobody wants to fight for thing anyway, and if all these people are just going off to retirement island, I guess it's not quite as sick as it could be, but something tells me that's not what's going on. I don't know if you could keep that big of a secret if everybody was just disappearing to Fantasy Island. But again, this song that's now connected to the death came out in 97. Notice the word death. Got that 97 and 25. 97 is the 25th prime. Remember, Notorious that year died in 97. Notorious 97. And, they called him Biggie. He got 39 in 2 of the ciphers. And, of course, he died on March 9th. So, a lot of rappers died by the code. Big L, Fat Joe. Not Fat Joe. I mean Big Pun. Big Pun died on the 38th day of the year. But I think they say Big L was shot on 139th. 139th. Tupac Shakur died on September 13th. Tupac Shakur 139. 139 is the 34th prime. Murder's 34. Rapper's 34. See how Rapper's 38 and 34, just like Murder? But hold on. Just same numbers all throughout history, man. Next time we link up with Jonathan, I know he'll kill it. Save some stuff for Jonathan. Let me see if that's right about Big L. 139th and Lennox. Maybe that's what I was thinking of with him, is his album. No, but he was killed on 139th Street. Hold on. 139 in Lennox is the second. Oh, that because that was put out after his death. That's why. That's why. And again, just so people understand, some people watch my videos and think, I know a lot of young people watch this, and I get the same question a lot, so I'm just going to put this out there. A lot of people watch my video for the first time, and they'll say, does this only happen to black people? The answer is no. It happens to people of all races. It goes on all over the world. This is the Illuminati, the Jesuit network, which is worldwide. But again, here's a really clear example. I think everybody should watch this movie, too. Peter Finch, who played Howard Beale in the movie Network, he became the first ever actor to win Best Actor after dying. And he won it for the role of Howard Beale in the movie Network. And I think everybody should watch the movie Network. By the way, that movie came out on the day leaving 34 days left in the year. But he plays the character that says, I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore. And if you've never seen the film, he's supposed to be a huge nightly news anchor like ABC or CBS or NBC. But one day he just decides he's had enough, that the world's bullshit. And he goes on a rant about how the whole world's bullshit. And what the network finds out is that people love the rant, and then they bring him back for another thing. They're about to fire him, but then they're like, whoa, that's the biggest rating we ever had. But this dude, look at this. The movie came out November 27th, right? And then he died, the actor who played Howard Beale, Peter Finch, he died January 14th, which was 49 days after the movie came out. And notice Howard Beale, the character's 49, and his actor name, Peter Finch, is 49. And then he became the first ever actor to win the Best Actor after dying at the 49th Academy Awards, you see? That's how these people do it. From the movie's date to the day he won the award was 121 days connected to blood sacrifice. From the day he died to the award was 73 days later, connecting to sacrifice and ritual sacrifice. Notorious B.I.G. died 73 days after his birthday. That's another number that comes up a lot, especially in 21, because 73 is the 21st prime. But notice, Network 34, like Murder, came out on the day leaving 34 days left in the year. Again, this is how the world of entertainment works. This is how the world of scripted news works. You know, all year we said why Joe Biden would become number 46. Remember, the only Catholic president to date was JFK. JFK, number 35, killed at age 46. Catholic, 35 and 46. You see how Catholics won 45 and 46? What makes the Catholic Bible different is it has 46 books in the Old Testament and 145 more chapters than the Protestant Old Testament. And that's interesting because the Jesuits, who are Catholic, were Jews who converted to Catholicism, and they came with this understanding of this Jewish mysticism, Kabbalah, letters, numbers, Gematria, all this stuff. Well, think about what day the Jewish state was created, Israel. May 14th, 14/5, right? But from the Pope's birthday, December 17th, to the election, November 3rd, was exactly 46 weeks later. Biden became the second Catholic president, number 46. And remember, his son, Beau Biden, died in 2015 at age 46. And when he died 201 days before Pope Francis's birthday, the first Jesuit pope. Notice the Jesuit order is 201. Pope Francis' birth name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, is 201. The founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola, is 201. If you look up Pope Francis, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, Mr. 201, he's the first ever pope to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican. Beau Biden died 201 days before his birthday. Joe Biden became president on Inauguration Day, 20/1, like 201, and the Jesuits have been in D.C. longer than the federal government. That's why all the symbolism's Roman. Jesuits go back to Rome. All roads lead to Rome. But hold on. Since we're talking about hip-hop stars, that's why we need the GOAT, LL Cool J, greatest of all time, to step up, man. Here's another one, Eazy-E, you know. Eazy-E died 201 days after his birthday, and I covered years ago how his death was synced up with Ice Cube's Lethal Injection. And Eazy-E was born September 7th, the day Tupac got shot. The other year, LeBron James and Kevin Durant came out with It Ain't Easy, right? It Ain't Easy on September 7th, and I think Nicki B, or what are their names? Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, got in a fight that day, and didn't Mac Miller end up dying on this day as well, September 7th? I think he did. But Eazy-E died 201 days after his birthday, and his record label with Bone Thugs and all that, Ruthless Records, 201. Again, this stuff's not an accident, you guys. It's all the Jesuits. You know, the gentleman who left us the comment about... what did I do with it? Let me get it back up here. About DMX at the end of Belly. I'm going to have to go back and see it with my own eyes, but I trust the comment. He says at the end of Belly, DMX becomes a member of the church. That's who he was writing about, DMX. And the colors of the church that he joins are black, white, and red. Those are the same colors the Jesuits use. And again, Belly got the 5679 like Society of Jesus. That's the Jesuits. And now DMX in this big Jesuit ritual on 4/2. And by the way, you guys, DMX on 4/2, DMX trying to become a man of the cloth at one point. Again, New Testament got the 42, right? The New Testament, the story of Jesus, begins with the 42 generations to Jesus. And it begins with Matthew. You know, the word math is 42 and 66. Did you catch New Testament was 42 and 66? And what's it teach you about at the end of the New Testament? It teaches you about the number of the beast, right? Number of the beast got that 66. All these numbers up here are important. Don't say, well, what about the other numbers? Man, I could tell you about them all day. Read my book. You know, I covered how Bill Gates started his vaccination alliance on his 258th day of his age, and his name equals 258 in this book. A month after this book came out, his dad died on the 258th day of the year. A whole lot more to say about it than that, too. But Bill Gates, when he got his vaccine, supposedly, that was his 87th day of his age. His name, Bill Gates, is 87. Vaccination 666 in Sumerian Gematria. Don't forget, Event 201. Here, you know what? I got to do this, too, man. I keep thinking I need to get off, but there's things that need to be explained to people. Look at this, man. Lil Nas X with his 666 shoes. Here. They're making it blatantly clear what this industry is all about. And they make it more and more clear. You know, a lot of people aren't going to catch the thing with LL Cool J and DMX. That takes a community of people, you know, a group of people like what we're essentially doing here. I'm the presenter, but really it's because of a group of people that we figured this out today. But this Lil Nas X shoe... Let me make this crystal clear to you here. Is this the right post? Hold on. That's not the post I want. This is the one I want. I need the one up here so you can see this. What? Is that the wrong? How many posts I got on this? Maybe this is the one right here. Hold on. I'm going to find it. This is it. This is definitely it. Okay, there's a lot to say here. I'm not going to do it all in this video because I already did it. But this is what I need you to see right here. This shoe is from 97. So is 4321. What went down in that year, man? What went down in 97? Okay. But Lil Nas X has Luke 10:18 on this shoe, and he made 666 pairs. And Luke 10:18 is where Satan comes to earth. Here's where this gets more interesting. See, when I do a revised version of this book, I missed something in here. I had Cladex 666 days before the pandemic and Event 201 and that all of this is satanic. But I missed one big thing that was just standing right in front of my face. Event 201 was on October 18th, 10:18. 10:18. Luke 10:18 about Satan coming to earth. Event 201 was the coronavirus pandemic simulation 1 month before the outbreak in Wuhan, China. And by the way, LL Cool J or whoever else wants to step up and be the greatest of all time in terms of serving this world from the entertainment or saving this world from the entertainment industry, whoever wants to step up, man, again, hold on. Let me just finish this thought. I'm sorry. There's just so much to say. But Event 201 was the coronavirus outbreak simulation. The Tuskegee experiments, don't forget the 201 placebos they did in Tuskegee, 201 again. Muhammad Ali, 201, shaking his whole life. Look it up, man. Here, Tuskegee, 201. And look up Event 201 on October 18, 2019, 1 month before the outbreak. The 201 men in the control group, again, this isn't just some random thing. Everywhere you go, this is the CDC's website. Anywhere you look in history, History Channel, 201. Wikipedia, 201 men that were in the control group. 201, right? Muhammad Ali shaking his whole life. Here, you want to sell out? You might end up shaking on TV your whole life. Muhammad Ali, 201. He got that 66 like number of the beast. He got that 42 like how many months the beast rules for in Revelation. The 96 like Freemason. The divisors of 42 go to 96. It's all together. You see how Muhammad Ali's 9642? See how knowledge is 9642? You see how Freemasons 9642? Again, the Jesuits, the Masons, Jesuits 42 as well. DMX on 42. But you see what they're doing here, you guys? Are you getting it yet? Tuskegee 201, Event 201. Who are they telling to get the vaccine the most right now? Are they telling black people to go out and get the vaccine the most? Yes, they are. People of darker complexions, yes. You need to get it the most. You need it the most. They're being so good with this vaccine, they're even rushing it out to homeless people. It's funny how Bill Gates is like the sponsor of it, and 10 years before he declared his decade of vaccines, where he said in 10 years he wanted a push to vaccinate the world, and also that year he did his TED Talk about how we need to reduce the population, and his number one way to reduce population, you know what it was? It was with vaccines. And people are just sleeping through this. I got dummies out on the street rolling up to me, how can it be an agenda? I already got the vaccine. I'm like, yeah, you got a vaccine for a 99% survivable illness from a company that's been sued by millions of people for wrongful death and injury from medicine? You don't see how it's an agenda, dummy? Come on, man. Society's so gone. Worshipping clowns like LL. Sorry, LL. I shouldn't call you a clown. But honestly, man, having people sacrifice for you, selling your soul to be famous, I mean, maybe you do deserve it. Especially if you don't speak up like CeeLo. And again, I mean, that's the thing. CeeLo helped us out. 2016, USA Today wrote about us. 2017, Vice News. We got some other references here. We know some people are paying attention. Who's going to step up from the in club and help us out? I think the answer is no one, sadly, but I could be proven wrong, and I'd like to be proven wrong. You know what else I just realized? Eazy-E died on the same day that Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X met in history, March 26. 26/3, like 263, the 56 prime, coming right back to Society of Jesus. Man, it's cold. There it is. I had it right there in the notes. It is just brutal, man. People just can't wake up to it. But again, look up Event 201. I didn't put this together well enough with the Lil Nas X shoes. Event 201, the coronavirus pandemic simulation 1 month before the outbreak in Wuhan, China, put on the same day the military World Games began in Wuhan, China. And if you look into the military World Games, they began in 95 in Rome. The Jesuits were created to counter the 95 Theses and recognized by Rome on September 27th, the day leaving 95 days left in the year. Man, I forget. Something happened in the world of hip-hop on September 27th last year. I forget what it was, man. But anyway, Event 201, that same group that did Event 201, which was the same pharmaceutical companies who've now rushed out the vaccines, they did Clade X on May 15th, 2018, 2 years to the day of Operation Warp Speed, May 15th, 2020, Trump's plan to rush out the vaccines. But here, I'll just show you. Clade X, May 15th, 2018, to the day the pandemic was declared, March 11th, 2020. 666 days later. And if you doubt those dates, guess what? It's the information age. You probably have a phone, a computer. Type in Clade X. It was May 15, 2018. I wouldn't put in a book and publish it if it wasn't true. And the pandemic was declared March 11, 2020. And by the way, Anthony Fauci, who's a member of the Society of Jesus, you see how his names like this, 13756, 18761? Notice how Washington, D.C. is the exact same in every cipher. 13756, 18761. Notice Society of Jesus in the most pure ciphers, 56, like Anthony Fauci, like Washington, D.C., like coronavirus. But notice again, Society of Jesus, 5679, right? The pandemic was declared on Anthony Fauci's 79th day, being 79 years old. We started with how LL Cool J's 79 and DMX became a vegetable 79 days after his birthday. And again, how the Jesuits own these rappers and their souls and do this to them and the people in their industry. Make them sell out each other, sacrifice off each other. Again, LL Cool J, most simple cipher, 79. Oh, I see it now too. 4321 came out in 97, right? That's the 25th prime. And he finishes it with the GOAT reference. Yeah. Death. Okay. But again, Cladex, 666 days, right? Event 201, October 18th, 1018. Satan comes to earth in Luke 10:18. He's got Luke 10:18 on the 666 sneakers with the souls, with the human blood in them. Blood sacrifice, selling your soul, symbolic in a shoe with the Baphomet on it in the year of all this goat stuff. I shouldn't say it has the Baphomet on it. It has the upside down pentagram, which is associated with the Baphomet. But again, it's just so obvious, you guys. And if you watch Cladex here, I think I have this somewhere on my website. They do a hold on, I typed it in wrong. They have like they broadcast like did I put it in here? I gotta find this. Oh, I do have it there. I see it. Okay. So this right here is from Cladex and Event 201. They have this like imitation CNN broadcasting news of the pandemic and how they'd respond to it. Again, you can watch this. You can watch Event 201. You can watch Cladex. But the woman's name is Jeanne Meserve, and that's interesting. She's the fake news anchor for the simulation. Again, put on by the same pharmaceutical companies, the World Economic Forum, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Johns Hopkins. But her name is Jeanne Meserve. The first tenet of Satanism is to serve yourself, right? And her name, Jeanne Meserve, you see how it's got that 55 in it and that 136? Look at this. Satan is 55, right? And Baphomet is 136, which is the satanic symbol. And the first tenet of Satanism is to serve yourself. And this is powerful companies simulating a pandemic that's going to fuck over the world, that's going to make them profit. What could be more satanic? To put your powerful corporate interest, and realize, again, that's what we need to think about with corporations. Corporation has one purpose, to generate a profit for its shareholders above everything else in the world. Secondary to that would be, well, what about the future of the world for children? I'm sorry, that's secondary. Our only purpose is to generate a profit for our shareholders. If that requires starting wars, killing people, destroying, rivers, lakes, or streams, oceans, sorry, we're just doing what we're here for, that people have invested in. People can't see how this whole system is just so sick, man. But the mockery. I wrote about all this shit in the book. The only thing I missed was how 1018 connects to Luke 1018. I wish I had that in the book. But in my second version, whenever I get to that, don't count on that. It's probably not going to be soon. I'm behind on all my projects. But I will get that in there because Lil Nas X with his sneakers made it real clear to me what they were doing. These people are some sick, sick fucks. And I want to see LL Cool J prove that he's the greatest of all time. And I gotta go back and revisit this. There's so much good content here, man. Did you notice how the 79 was up there with Trump, who's Jesuit educated? I'm telling you, they use the same numbers over and over, you guys. Nancy Pelosi, the good little Catholic look, Nancy Pelosi, you guys, her birthday's March 26th, and look at how her name is 56. Again, March 26th, 26/3, like 263, the 56 prime. That's the day in history the polio vaccine came out, March 26th. And Bill Gates has the same birthday as Jonas Salk. Notice what year Bill Gates was born in light of this whole 55 thing. Bill Gates, born in 55, right? His birth name, William Henry Gates. Got the 201, like event 201. Remember, his wife has the birthday of the Jesuits, August 15th. She comes from a Jesuit family. In the simulation, 65 million die. It was on her 65th day of her age. They were married 65 days after Bill's birthday. But William Henry Gates, Got the 258 in reverse, just like Number of the Beast. And his dad died September 14, 2020, the anniversary of Margaret Sanger, which was the 258th day of the leap year. And he established Gavi as Vaccine Alliance, July 12, 1999, his 258th day of his age. You see how Number of the Beast is 87, so is Bill Gates. But, again, you guys, all this stuff, man, it's all related. Jesuits control all these people. It's the Jesuit cabal. Again, the Illuminati was founded by the Jesuit Adam Weishaupt. And by the way, he called it Order of Illuminati. Did Adam Weishaupt. Order of Illuminati. 201, he established it May 1st, 1776. He died November 18th, 1830, 201 days after the anniversary of the establishment. Got that 258 like Number of the Beast. You know what I mean? I could go on all day, you guys. You know, I could recite most of what's in this book if I just kept talking. But really, people should read this. I made it free, the ebook version. I made both my books free. I made this thing free. It's go time, man. We got to get the knowledge out there. I'm sick of the knowledge not spreading fast enough. I thought I'd charge $5 for it to make people value it somewhat, but I don't know. Maybe it just, I don't know, man. I just don't know. It's like maybe the whole world's taken by this satanic cabal. Maybe you don't even have to sell your soul on the dotted line and get the big money to sell your soul in this world, man. Maybe just worshiping these entertainers does it. I'll tell you what, my sister grew up, just loving LL. Ladies love Cool J. My sister had all of his tapes, man. I can still picture her cassette thing. She had the Public Enemy album. She had the LL Cool J. I think LL was her favorite. Ladies love Cool J. That's what LL stands for. Ladies love Cool James. But I'll tell you what, man, my sister, it's like she doesn't have a soul. I swear to God, man. She used to be a good person when we were younger, but at some point that thing just vanished. She's blind to everything. That's why they say, man, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. My sister's totally blind. She thinks all this stuff's a coincidence. She thinks there's nothing to worry about. Man. See, I never idolize any of these people, honestly. I think that was another good thing I did along the way, but you want to do some research? Watch Belly again. See what's in there. I bet there's a lot in there. I bet there's a lot. DMX is in that movie. I don't think LL Cool J is in that movie, but he's been in a lot of movies, LL. I don't think he's in that one, though. I could be wrong. So, all right. I got to wrap it up. Sweet lady's going to be mad, Truth Seeker. Please like and share the video. I see we're almost to 500 likes. If we get to 1,000, this video will probably make it to a few more strangers and a better chance LL will see it and have a chance to respond tomorrow on Sirius XM. Keep me posted. So, until next time, Truth Seeker.